Today I'm going to give you a quick little overview on how to take notes in your core curriculum. It's important that we take notes with our core curriculum because we don't have a textbook that we can refer back to on information that we've learned, even a week or 2 weeks ago. So it's important that we take some notes. Keep those in a binder with subject tabs so that you can quickly find your math notes, your science notes, your social studies notes, and your language arts notes. I'm going to do this tutorial using Odysseyware because several of you are using Odysseyware this year. I don't have time to do a tutorial on Apex or any of those other curriculums that were selected. But if you do need help once it's time to log into those curriculums, let me know and I'll see if we can walk you through and show you how to do that. I've already logged in as a student. To start learning, you'll click here on the Learn light bulb. You'll see right here that we have all of your classes listed, and it has a semester A and it has a semester B for language arts. You only need to work in semester A. You'll find that semester B is due in January. Don't work on any semester B courses. Here's math, semester A and semester B. And science, semester A, semester B. Social studies, semester A and semester B. I'm going to show you real quickly on how to take some notes. We're going to click on Living Units, semester A. It's going to open up the lesson for us. It's going to start by giving us some information. You've got some tools over to the side if you want to print this information out for those of you that can't take notes and need a little bit of help where you can print them out and then take a highlighter, take notes that way. That's fine as well. Right here's the Read to You feature, where it'll read to you. There's a small video here. And what I really want to point out is that when you come to one of these right here, this right here is important for taking notes. I have already taken a pencil and paper and written these notes down so that I can keep them in my binder. Let me show you right here. So I created a page at the top of my, a title at the top of my page that says Living Units because that's the unit I'm working on. I put OW for Odysseyware. That way I'll remember that these notes came from Odysseyware. I put today's date, and then I wrote some simple little vocabulary terms. I even used colored pencils to kind of make it colorful. I used a little diagram down here to show you that you can show that a living organism grows, it reproduces, and then it dies. That's its function. I gained all that from reading this information here. When you scroll down at the bottom, it will say, what do you want to do next? Work on questions, because there are some questions that are related to just this page. So you can click on that, and the very first question that's going to come up are some questions that if you would have read it carefully and taken a few more notes, not just the definitions that I wrote, I don't have time to do that, but if you had written some of these notes down, you could go in and start answering some of these questions. This is question 1 of 9, so there are several questions on this activity. Yeah, here are all the questions right here. Here's question 2, question 3. Just goes through all these questions. So on this particular one, there's only one section of information. It's all right here. And it does look as though you can go back and forth to look at your information. If you forgot to write down some important information, you could probably go back. And you work your way through the questions. All right, I'm going to click now and go show you what a math lesson looks like. See if it'll let me do that. Courses. Oh, let's go to assignments. That must be where it is. Okay, assignments. I'm going to scroll down to math, semester A, whole number, place value. Okay, so on this, there are 4 sections of this lesson, whereas in science, there was just 1 section, information, and then 9 questions. This one, you have 4 sections, and then you have 13 questions. And several of the questions are divided up into each section. So I'll show you how that works in just a second. So this is section 1. You would read all this information, start taking notes as you needed to. Here's vocabulary, and I'll show you that one of the very first questions we're going to have is filling out vocabulary definitions. So make sure that you take the time to write these down. I know it seems like a lot of work, but if you'll write it down now, it will definitely be helpful. I've got a sheet where I can show you that I started to write some of those down. and I could have gotten colorful. I put a symbol over here for expanded form because it's shown as an addition statement. Okay, so you write all those down. What do you want to do next? Work on questions, because there are some questions that are related just to this information. So there it is. This very first question is related to that information we just read, which is about the definitions that we just wrote down. Okay, there are more questions throughout here. Obviously, this one would have been in section 2 of 4, so we would need to go back and make sure that we read that section. So you'll work your way through the section and then answer the questions that are appropriate for those sections. Here we've got a nice little chart, and on my notes, I went ahead and created one for my notebook. I put Odyssey Ware, today's date. I created a title. I came up with information that would be meaningful and helpful to me. I may already have known that information, but by writing it, I for sure know it. It's confirmed to my memory now. Read this information here. Here's an example. This is where I would get a notebook, piece of paper, and go ahead and write down some of these examples and make sure that I know what this information is. If you can answer these questions, then you're ready to work on the next set of questions, which it will take you straight to the next set of questions. And these questions will be related to the information that we just read in section 2. Now I'm going to go take a look at section 3 of this particular lesson. 3 number forms. I would need to create a video, or I would need to create a note that would help me understand what the 3 different ways that we can write number forms. We can write them in a word form, an expanded form, or just with digits. So here are some examples, and then we have more questions we can work on. And it's very clear that you could just go to the next section and read all 4 sections and then start up with question 1 and do all 13 questions all at the same time. And then section 4 is a review. So this would definitely be information that you would want to put in your notes as well. Then once you're finished, you would turn in your questions. Once you've finished all 13 questions, then you would turn it in. Okay, so that's just a quick example of some ways that you can take some notes and keep these in your binder. Everybody's notes will be different, and the more creativity you put in them, sometimes the better it is for your memory and for your kinesthetic learning characteristics. Also, too, keep in mind that your notes don't have to be perfect. They can be quickly written out, but I will tell you this, they cannot be screenshots. You cannot take your phone and type in the information there. It really is helpful if you can take a pencil and a paper and write down this information on your page. You're going to get better at taking notes the more practice you get at it. So keep in mind that your first day of notes, you're not going to be sure exactly what to write down. Don't stress about that. Write as many notes as you think you can. Start with the vocabulary for sure. Start with the title and the vocabulary and examples. If you can do that, then you've got a good start. And then you're going to find out as you go what information you're going to quickly see in that information that will be important. All right, let me know if you have any questions, all right?